Hello friends, we know planning is important in every aspects of our life. No matter if it is our classroom, going to a supermarket, buying a car or constructing a house. Whatever the scenario, we need a plan for its success. For a better teaching learning process, lesson planning is also very important. In this video, we will discuss on lesson planning on integrated learning approach. The objective of this learning unit are, after the completion of this unit, learners will be able to discuss the importance of lesson planning in teaching learning process, describe the components of lesson planning, design teaching strategies and activities for their subject by integrating with other subjects and real life. According to Handbook for Teachers published by CBSE in 2019, lesson plan means a teacher's planning for teaching an individual lesson. As it is teacher's individual plan, the elements of creativity and innovation inherent to the teacher are reflected in a lesson plan. A well worked out lesson plan acts as a core of the teaching learning process. It answers all the necessary questions and provides sufficient support to the teacher so that teaching becomes smooth and easy. It is the activity which the teacher performs before the actual lesson takes place. If we go to the classroom without any planning, students will struggle a lot to understand the concepts or topics being conveyed. Whereas, if the learning is a planned one, all students will definitely achieve the learning outcomes. According to CBSE, every lesson plan should have at least these 9 components: statement of teaching philosophy, learning outcomes, pedagogical strategies, group activities, experiments, hands-on learning, interdisciplinary linkages and infusion of life skills, values, gender sensitivity, etc., resources including ICT, assessment items for measuring the attainment of the learning outcome, feedback and remedial teaching plan, and inclusive practices. Let us discuss few of the components in brief. First is teaching philosophy. It is a self-reflective statement of your beliefs about teaching and learning. A teaching philosophy statement is a written description of your values, goals, and beliefs regarding both teaching and learning. A teaching philosophy statement should contain educational purpose and learning goals for students, your teaching methods, and the methods for assessing students' learning. And last, the assessment of teaching. The next component is learning outcome. Learning outcomes are declarations that portray significant and essential learning that has been achieved by learners and that can be reliably demonstrated at the end of the learning. This is the definition quoted by CBSE in the book published in 2019, that is Handbook for Teachers. Learning outcomes are observable, measurable, and specific statements of what the student is expected to achieve and how he or she is expected to demonstrate that achievement. While writing learning outcomes, we should keep in mind that the learning outcome statements should be SMART. For SMART means for S it is specific, for M it is measurable, for A it is attainable, for R it is relevant, and for T is timely. So every learning outcome statement should be observable, measurable, and specific. And the two aspects of the two characteristics, relevancy and timely, is also very important while writing the learning outcome statement. A teacher may adopt the learning outcomes prepared by NCERT as it is, or adapt the learning outcomes prepared by NCERT for the topic at hand, or create new or additional learning outcomes on his or her own. Next component is pedagogical strategies. Pedagogy refers to the methodology and process of teaching and learning using a specific curriculum with specific goals in mind. It is the way of teaching students, whether it is the theory or practice. The main aim of pedagogy is to build on previous learning of the students and work on the development of skills and attitudes of the learners. It enables the students to get a thorough understanding of the subject and helps them in applying those learning in their daily lives outside the classroom. Some of the important pedagogical approaches in teaching learning process are integrated learning, experiential learning, active learning, inquiry based learning, case based learning, problem based learning, project based learning, and so on. There are so many pedagogical approaches for what a teacher should follow in the classroom. As I told, there is no fixed format for writing a lesson plan. Here, I just want to point out few points while writing a lesson plan on integrated learning approach. In integrated learning lesson plan, integration of the topic with other subjects and real life should be reflected separately. The teacher adopting integrated approach should have clear understandings of the elements of integration of the topic that is being dealt. His or her integrated lesson plan should reflect the other disciplines that are being integrated along with respective learning outcomes, concepts, topics to be integrated, and strategies for integration. It should also be mentioned in clear terms about how the assessment of learning outcomes in different areas will be carried out. In strategy for integration, write all activities, experiments, and hands-on process briefly. The elements of creativity and innovation should be reflected here. While planning for assessment, it will be better if you plan for assessment for learning, assessment as learning, and assessment of learning separately. It is not necessary to forcefully integrate any given topic with a number of disciplines only for the sake of integration. A particular topic may or may not have elements of integration with different subject areas. Integration should be done seamlessly depending upon the possibility for better understanding of the students. Whatever valid integration you are doing, same should be reflected in the planning. At last, your plan should contain the remedial teaching plan and the self-reflection. Thank you friends for watching this video where we discussed about lesson planning on integrated learning approach. We discussed on statement of teaching philosophy, we discussed on lesson planning and pedagogy, and we discussed how to write a integrated lesson plan. In the next video, we will discuss on assessment in teaching learning process. Thank you.